not Arty Noobs with general disturbance. This is Bat Châtillon 15555, the Tier 9 French SPG. This one is located on the defending team of Karelia Assault, and it's under the command of talon1958 of OLIMP, and he's got the improved rammer, bouncy rotation device, and the improved movement, or is it improved movement device as well. I never remember the name of that one. Anyway, it's got a turbo in it. That's all I do know. Okay, 155mm main gun. It's capable of doing 680 alpha, 48mm of pen, and 7.6 meters on the burst radius. So it's like most of the other 155mm howitzers. Limited amount of damage, but it does fire fairly often. Okay, he's in position. And he's turning. This is one of the few Artys with a turret, which means, of course, that the vehicle can face a direction of travel whilst the gun is pointing somewhere else. And that means that you can actually escape quickly if you need to. He spotted the first target, a BZ-176. He fires a round in. Not sure if he hit it, but he probably got it close. Now you can see he's just moved a little bit, but that's enough to throw off any Arty player who's trying to do counter battery at the moment. Now you can see the rescue hasn't moved around yet because the turret is still turning. Okay, he's loaded. And there's the rescue, so he can now shoot at the G-Saw. Before he can do that, the G-Saw explodes, so he fires at Type 68 and instead he gets 319 hit points, which is a non-penetrating shot. And again, he's moved to avoid counter battery. Now, he made one prototype of this Arty. It didn't get put into production. Oh, and another enemy is just blown up. Okay, so 2 enemies gone. Rounds out from the 752. Direct hit again. This time only 175. It looked like it hit the tracks area. Of course, what distinguishes this Arty from the his bigger brother is the fact that the 155-58 has an auto loader, 3 shots but an extra long reload time. Rounds out on the Deaf Doom Turtle, gets a hit for 154. Yes, there's the enemy tank that was causing those little explosions over in the corner. It's a Jagdpanther Spy. He's using the wreck for cover, the G-Saw wreck. We're almost loaded. Standard reload, 28.76 seconds. He's got 23.68. He's loaded. Rounds out straight away. And it hits the wreck. Yes, that telltale dong as it hits a wreck means that he only managed to splash the enemy. He didn't actually do any major damage. Okay, there's the Jagdpanther Spy again. He's loaded. Rounds out this time. Should hit the target. He does. 306 hit points. Another non-penetrating shot, but still all the same, it's more damage. Talon's well aware, as most players are, if you keep the Arty pumping the shells out, you'll not only hit more of the enemy, but there's a good chance you might actually end up with a Confederate medal. He rounds out the Doom Turtle. Another 244. It also keeps the enemy stunned if you're using stun shells, and that helps your teammates because whilst the enemy's stunned, they're slower, their reload is longer, and of course they're less likely to get an accurate shot on your teammates. We're almost loaded. Rounds out the 752. It landed right in front of him for 210. And we got stun assist and track damage off him as well, because he was tracked when he took damage. So this assault game is actually going quite well for us, because we've got 4 kills, the enemy's only got 2 so far. Rounds up. Direct hit on the Doom Turtle. Doom Turtle is a one-shot now. He's pulling back, which is the correct thing to do because he can't stay in the fight with no hit points to play with. And now he's out the game and he becomes Talon's first kill. 5 versus 2 now. The enemy only has 10 minutes to win the game and they've already burned through half of that time. They do have one tank near the cap, an E75, but we haven't seen him for a while. And now the Jagdpanther's gone. That one landed on his side. So yes, he actually hit the side of the vehicle where the armor is slightly weaker on the Jagdpanther's side. The Nomad pulling back from his position. And over here we got a T-54 lightweight. Now he's down in the dip on the west side of the map, and we can see that he's managed to sneak through. It's a little late, that shot, but the T-54 has gone in to join the E-75, and I think that's good reasoning there, because obviously if you can actually go into that little spot, you can pop up every now and then, take pot shots at our guys who are guarding the cap area. But the enemy are now down by 4. It's 8 versus 4. And one of our guys is pushing on the east side of the map. 2 tanks are going for the enemy rear area. Now we're looking towards the south because that BZ-176 hasn't been spotted again. He was there briefly and we've marked the spot to say that's where we're looking. The turret turns. Well, the tank that was just spotted was an IS-3. And he's trying to hold our guys back, but the thing is we can't get a shot from here. Mostly because the rocks that are near him are too high and we wouldn't be able to get the shell to drop onto him. The trajectory of these shells is fairly flat. In fact, a lot of French Arty had the same problem, that flat trajectory. Well, you can see that Talon's decided to get closer to the enemy and he's moved. In fact, this will not only help him in getting better shots and quicker shots on the enemy, but it actually gives him new angles to shoot at the enemy from. That Scorpion G that's just been spotted down towards the south, there he is. He's gone in the dip, and our Concept 1B's gone in there to get him, and it looks like our Arty, the other Arty on our team, who happens to be a Lorraine 155-51, got a shot in, we're loaded, we're fired. And he dies before our shell arrives. But now we've got that T-54 lightweight. He came out from behind the swamp area, and now he's taking damage. There's only 5 enemies remaining. 2 heavies, 2 Arty, and a light tank. There's the light tank. Now he just moved, but he's still in the vicinity. So can we get a shot near him to kill him? Okay, predicted where he'd go. Not close enough, but it was a good idea. 2 minutes to go. It doesn't look like the enemy's going to be able to take our cap or kill all of our team in the time. In fact, they've just lost their E75. There's one of their Arties. In fact, there's the other one, the FP207. We're loaded, lining up a shot. He's gone for the FP207. Unfortunately, our teammates managed to get the kill on him, but the M103 killed him before our shell arrived. But it would have been a direct hit had he actually got it. And now the last enemy tank, the BZ-176, is going back to try and shoot at some of our teammates in the rear, which means obviously we can't get a shot on him because he's actually now sitting behind a rock. Talon's decided to actually take up a new position. You can see the turret's still turning. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a shot on him because he's hiding and now he's boxed in. And so with the last minute ticking down, he just gets wiped out, and that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second class tanker for talon1958 of OLIMP with the Bat Châtillon 155-55. He managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 5 exactly, and his win rate was 2,289, which is very good. Let's have a look at the team score. There we can see didn't get the highest damage. That went to the M103, who picked up a steel wall and 3,354 hit points. Second highest was the Gonzalo with 3,150. And third highest was the Concept 1B, who managed 2,723 hit points. Talon managed 1,917, which actually puts him in 5th place on damage. When it came to kills, though, he was actually in joint 2nd place because the top scorer was the M103 with 3 kills. T56 also managed to get 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Concept 1B and also to Talon. And when it came to base XP, you can see that the top scorer was the M103 again with 1,345, the Gonzalo 1,262, the Concept 1B 1,021. Those are the only 3 who managed to make it over 1,000, but we can see that Talon got 780, and that put him in 5th place on base XP. He fired 15 rounds, got 7 direct hits on the enemy, but no penetrations, but he did get 10 splash. 1,917 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 2 of them, and got 351 hit points of damage assist, and 1,035 stun assist off 8 stuns. On a premium counter, he made a profit of 16,875 credits, and he also took away 4,680 experience points, getting 2,340 for a mission completion job. So, yes, he said, keep wrecking them, keep pumping those shells out as fast as you can. The more shells you can get out during a battle, it doesn't really matter if they don't actually hit the enemy target, but so long as they actually do get a critical hit, that counts. And the more you actually get, the more chance you've got of getting a medal. And even if it's a losing game with a medal, you actually end up with extra credit and extra XP. So it does work out in the long run. Anyway, it's nice to see Talon's back and he's in the phrase pumping out those games. In fact, we have got more games from him, but I will try to get those done as quickly as I can. Obviously, as you know, I've got a huge number of games that have been sent in to me over the period whilst I've been ill, and so therefore they're not all done yet, but I will try to get as many done as I can. This weekend, I'm off to my nephew's wedding. I'm hoping that I will be able to get some games done as soon as I get back. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a like, and thank you for watching.